Hey guys, this is Jimmy with Farrell here in Denver. So we are going to do a live tour of our new shop here in Denver at 3936 Tennyson. We did one on Instagram earlier today, so if you saw that one or you watched that one, you don't have to watch this one again. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff, except I'll probably do something stupid, so you might want to stick around for that. So we're down here at 3936 Tennyson. We're going to give you a little bit of I guess not a neighborhood tour, but a block tour, so you guys kind of know where the shop is. And then we're actually going to go in the space, and I'm going to show you guys kind of what the building looks like, what our plans are, and tell a little bit of the story of the building and what we're doing. So I think the big, or what we've come to discover probably, the really fun and exciting thing for a lot of people here in the neighborhood is actually the first thing most people see when they arrive at the structure, and that's the sign. So if you want to show them the neon sign, so here on Tennyson Street, it's one of the most recognizable and iconic features in the entire neighborhood. And one of the things we're really excited about is getting to rehab that sign. So our plans are to completely, not really rebuild it, but restructure it with our branding. But the great thing is if you look at the sign, the word music and the word Farrell have the same number of letters, so that's useful. So I think people that come back and see the sign once we've rebranded it are going to find that it really truly is recapturing the historic context of the original sign. So we're really excited about that. In fact, when people in the neighborhood started to hear that we were moving into this building, the first question we got from almost everyone was, are you going to save the sign? The answer is a resounding yes, and we're really excited to bring that back. So just as far as where we're at location-wise, so I said we are at 3936 Tennyson. Our neighbors, our neighbors to the north are Royal Burger. Guys. And to the south is Witt's Custard, a little design studio, and Hops and Pie, which everyone should be familiar with, one of the great pizza spots here in town. So this is the building. Let's go ahead and walk inside. It might take a second for the lighting to catch back up because it's a little dark in here, but the first thing you'll notice if you've ever been in our original Farrell store, hopefully you have been, is this place is big. It's open, huge tall ceilings, exposed brick walls, hardwood floors, a lot of really vintage and authentic and exciting features here in the building. The first thing I'll say is our intent with this building is to conserve as much of the original design and aesthetic as we can. That includes the exterior of the building. We're literally not making any changes to the exterior of the building. That includes the sign staying, but the facade of the building is going to stay 100% true to the original design. And inside, we're really wanting to do the same thing. Keep the brick walls, keep the hardwood floors, keep the big, open, airy floor plan. But we really want people to walk in and kind of really honestly have the same experience that I had the first time I walked in this building. Is you just feel inspired by the space. It's just really great, not only to have buildings like this in the neighborhood, but be able to put them to a real use again. So the building itself, it's actually a really cool story. So back in the early 19 teens, this building operated as a theater, and it was a really big component of an entertainment district that comprised this theater, Elitch's, which was just down the street, and Lakeside, which was in the same location back in the day. And it was kind of this entertainment hub in what was called North Denver. What's really interesting about that story as it applies to us is we opened our Idaho Springs location earlier this year, about 4 months ago. And that building that we moved into up there was actually operating as a theater at the exact same time that this building was a theater. So it's just this really weird coincidence that once we move into this building, both of our stores historically were operating as theaters at the exact same time back in I think it was like 1916, 1918, something like that. And when you walk in the building, you'll see right away why this space would have made a really great theater back in the day. But since then, it's been a furniture store, it's been a couple other businesses. Most recently, pretty much everybody knows this building as the Flesher Hinton building. It operated as the Flesher Hinton Music Store most recently, and since Flesher Hinton, which by the way is still around, they're in Wheat Ridge, great store. Since they left, it's been vacant. So a couple things, if you visited the store and it was the Flesher Hinton store, you'll recognize the balcony. The only change to the balcony is the left side of the balcony that you see there is still there, but the back, and then on the right side, kind of over here, there used to be a balcony that came back this way. I'd be a great weatherman. Used to be a balcony back that way. Unfortunately, that side of the balcony was a little too beat up, a little too roached out, so structurally wasn't safe and had to come down. But when we looked at the building and we discovered that this balcony here was still really structurally sound, we asked the owner of the building to keep that because we just, one, it's just part of the historic context of the building, but also we actually want to use this space up here as an event space and a community space and an office space. And we'll walk up there and show it. But if you've ever been in our original shop or our current shop on Tennyson, you know when we host events there, it's just packed and it's really hard to move around because the space is so small. So here we're actually going to get to have a dedicated space for book events, for classes, for courses, for whatever. We can have a Monopoly night. Who cares? We'll do some fun stuff. So we're really excited to have that balcony space. And we'll walk up there and take a peek at it. So just to talk a little bit about layout and some of the things we're going to be able to do in the new space, the big win for us is we're actually going to be able to display shit, which in our 700 square foot bungalow, basically it wasn't an option. So we're going to have tent displays, a lot more displays really for all of the gear that we carry, but we'll be one of the few places that you can go and actually see tents on display. It's a big challenge for a lot of outdoor gear shops because they do take up so much space. So we're gonna be really excited to actually get to show you the tents that we sell. Register counter is gonna go over there. I'm really excited to build that. And towards the back of the space over here, we're gonna have a dedicated rental counter back here. So for those of you that rent gear from Farrell, you'll be able to come in, pick up, drop off really quickly. We'll have a dedicated space for that, dedicated counter. So we're actually really excited about that. And in fact, the rental counter is going to be the original register from our Farrell store, so you'll recognize that. So we'll walk upstairs real quick and I'll show you kind of what the kind of lay of the land is from the balcony. So one thing we're really excited to do up here, and we actually just recently announced this on Facebook, some of you may have seen it, but we're out of breath because I just had to walk up 8 stairs. So right here, we're going to do what we're, I guess, tentatively calling the Cottage Industry Lab. And what the intent here is we really want to seek out some of those up-and-coming brands that are making great products, but historically have a really tough time carving out an a space in retail stores. A lot of the corporate retailers just don't really seek out those small batch brands, those local brands, because it's just administratively difficult. But we're going to essentially dedicate this space right here to focusing and highlighting those brands. So it'll be a good opportunity for those brands that are trying to break into retail. But just as importantly, or even more importantly, our customers will actually be able to come in and touch and feel those brands that you read about all the time, and you've only really up till that point had the opportunity to see them online. So brands like ULA, Hyperlite, just as a couple examples, and there are literally hundreds of those brands, particularly some here locally that are really great. We're going to collaborate with them in this space, probably do like a 30 or 90 day rotation where we're constantly bringing new brands in. But I think it'll be really exciting for you guys to come in and check that stuff out. So we'll kind of check out the balcony space here as Whitney's being very careful stepping over that railing. So this is going to be essentially an event space, a community space. When we're not hosting events up here, it's going to be kind of our open air office space. But a lot of those events that we've always wanted to do, we want to do more book events, we want to do more classes, we want to do more community stuff. We just haven't had the space. I mean, our shop's just been too small. Movie nights we've always been able to do because of the yard, but we're finally going to have this just big open space that will be able to host legitimate community events, and we're really excited about that. It will also be available for other people to use, so think birthdays, think whatever. So we have our Indiegogo campaign going on right now, and actually one of the perks that you can contribute to is you can actually reserve this space for a business meeting, a birthday, a bar mitzvah, whatever. Just think whatever your unique event might be, you'll be able to actually host it in a very one, hyper local, but also really, really cool space. So we're really excited about that. One of the things that you can see a little bit better up here is actually kind of the old truss metal exposed ceilings, which we're really excited about. When I started Farrell, one of the questions I got probably most frequently was why we opened the shop where we did. I come from a very corporate retail background, and when I started Farrell, I knew from the very beginning that I never wanted to open a store in a traditional commercial space, in a suburban environment with white walls and tile floor and fluorescent bulbs everywhere. It was just something that was very important to me. I wanted the space to inspire what it is we're actually doing inside it. And someone asked me the other day when we were in here, they said, is this the building of your dreams? And to be perfectly honest, it far surpasses that. When we started Farrell 2.5 years ago, I would have never imagined that we would have had the opportunity to be in a space like this, and feel very fortunate. And when you see it and when you walk it, I think you guys will hopefully see that too and appreciate that. So one thing we do have going on, if you don't already know, we do have an Indiegogo campaign that we launched last Thursday, and that campaign is to support our move from the old building to this new building. And so we launched last Thursday, so we're exactly 1 week in, and we are absolutely, especially me, have been absolutely overwhelmed by the support we've gotten from the community. I think at last check we were almost at $30,000. Our goal is to get to 95. The 95 is essentially what our build-out costs are going to be to renovate the space and finish our work. So if you live in Berkeley, you live in Denver, you're an outdoor enthusiast, we would love to have your support. The campaign link is in the, I think is in the post if I did that right. If not, you can just go to our Facebook page or our website. But there's a lot of really cool perks in there. You can get a lifetime discount, you can get extremely discounted gift cards. We also have some opportunities for personalization in the shop. You can actually get your name on a fixture in the shop. So we're really excited about that. Could not be more excited about the support we've received so far, but we still have a really, really long way to go. So if you've been thinking about it, let's do it. Let's build this thing. So I think that's about everything that, I'm not going to show you guys the toilet. I think that's pretty much everything, but we're really excited to get going. The owner of the building is finishing their work right now. So basically, immediately at the end of the Indiegogo campaign, if the owner of the building has their work done, we will be in here ready to start swinging hammers and get this thing going. Our goal is to open in November. Fingers crossed. Whitney just gave me a look. So we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. But a big part of that is going to be the support, hopefully, that we get from you guys. So thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks for being the best community we could hope for. That's all we got. Thanks, guys.